My husband called another woman, his soulmate, in front of everyone. So I went home, drained our bank accounts, packed his bags, and waited for him by the front door. I was married to Preston for 3 years, but if I'm being honest, I was mostly married to his excuses. The biggest excuse was his so-called work wife, Lily. For the first year, I played the cool, understanding wife, but eventually, the late-night texting started, the secret inside jokes, and the constant comparisons. If I bought a dress, Preston would say, Lily has one just like it, but in red. I was paying the mortgage, funding his startup dreams, and doing his laundry, while he was living a completely different life in his head. The turning point, the moment my heart just went completely ice cold, was at a 4th of July barbecue hosted by Lily's fiancé. Preston had spent the entire afternoon hovering around Lily, drinking expensive craft beer, and treating me like the hired help. Around 9 o'clock, I walked up behind them on the patio. I was just about to hand Preston a plate of food when Lily's cousin asked how Preston and I met. Preston laughed, took a sip of his beer, and said, honestly, I just needed a place to crash. She's basically my mom, paying the bills and nagging me. Lily is my real soulmate. He actually said that out loud. No hesitation. There was no yelling, no screaming, crying match. I just put the plate down, walked out the front door, got into my car, and drove home. I wasn't a wife. I was a bed and breakfast. The boring safety net. I got home at 9:45 and immediately got to work. I bought this house 2 years before I even met Preston, so his name wasn't on the deed. First, I opened the smart home app. I deleted his fingerprint access, wiped his passcode, and disabled the garage door. Next, I logged into my banking app. I transferred every single dollar from our joint savings straight into my personal account. I canceled his supplemental credit card, the one he used to buy Lily's birthday present. Then the heavy lifting started. I grabbed 50 heavy-duty trash bags, and I packed up his life, but I didn't put them on the driveway. I piled them right inside the front hallway, and I waited. Preston finally stumbled up the porch steps at 4:30 in the morning. I watched on the security feed as he punched in his code. Red light. He tried again. Red light. Then, he started pounding his fists against the heavy oak door. I didn't call him. I unlocked the deadbolt, swung the door wide open, and stood there on the threshold, staring down at him. Babe, what the hell? He slurred, gesturing wildly at the keypad. The door is jammed. I looked him dead in the eye, grabbed the nearest trash bag, which held his ridiculously expensive gaming console, and shoved it hard into his chest. He stumbled backward, dropping the bag down the porch steps with a loud, sickening crunch. It's not jammed. His eyes went wide, panic finally breaking through the alcohol. Are you crazy? What are you doing? I heard you, I whispered, stepping out onto the porch. I heard exactly what you told Lily's cousin. You just needed a place to crash, right? Well, checkout time was at midnight. He went completely pale. He reached out, desperately trying to grab my hand. Baby, wait, it was just a joke. You took it out of context, I swear. Do not touch me, I snapped, taking a second bag of his designer sneakers down the steps. You don't have to worry about your mom nagging you anymore, Preston. The bank account is empty, the card is canceled, and you have exactly 10 minutes to get your garbage off my lawn before I call the cops for trespassing. I stepped back inside, slammed the door right in his face, and threw the deadbolt. The next day, he started spinning a massive web of lies to our friend group. He told everyone I was a psychotic, jealous wife who had a mental breakdown, but he forgot about the patio security camera. Lily's fiancé had a Ring camera right above the cooler. I messaged him, asking him to check the footage from 9 o'clock. He found it. Crystal clear audio. I took that video and sent it to his parents, our entire friend group, and of course, Lily's fiancé. The fallout was absolute poetry. Lily's wedding was called off immediately. Preston's parents were so disgusted, they refused to let him move back into his childhood bedroom. He went from living rent-free in my gorgeous colonial house to renting a dingy studio apartment, working night shifts to pay off his credit card debt. He called me his safety net. Well, I guess I finally cut the cord.